Takes a second, sorry. All right, we are live.
I can hear.
Notice, the City of Oak Creek is authorized to hold this public meeting remotely during the COVID-19 public health emergency under the March 16th and March 20th advisories from the Office of Open Government and the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Per the advisory, this meeting being conducted via Zoom video conference with telephone conferencing capabilities was duly noticed per the City of Oak Creek Municipal Code and statutory notice requirements more than 24 hours in advance of the meeting. Members of the public have been advised of the options for participation via the COVID-19 information page on the city's website and the information contained on the meeting agenda. This meeting may also be viewed on the city's YouTube page, the link for which was contained in all aforementioned notice methods. Facilitation of the meeting, body members and staff have the ability to mute and unmute their microphones throughout the meeting. Please mute at all times except for roll call motions, voting, and when recognized by the chair. The chair will facilitate questions and comments by calling on each body member or by requesting the use of the raise hand function in the Zoom webinar control panel. Only speak once you have been recognized by the chair or moderator. All right, and then I'm going to stop sharing and you have the floor, Carolyn.
Okay, so I don't have a PowerPoint, you guys, so we're just gonna pretty much talk through this, okay? So what I want to do is start off by just thanking everyone for taking the time out of their schedule to come to this meeting this way, given everything that's going on. I know it's kind of different, but thank you so much for joining. It was kind of crazy going back and forth, canceling and rescheduling, but I think we're here. We have a quorum, so we can move forward with this meeting. It shouldn't take too long, but we'll see how it goes, okay? So Wendy, can we please start off by doing a roll call of the Celebrations Commission?
Carolyn,
Here.
Cindy,
Here.
myself, Courtney,
Here.
Kyle,
Here.
Hattie,
I'm here.
Lisa,
Here.
Jennifer,
Here.
James,
Here.
James, oh, James, you're on. Great.
Yep.
Thank you, James. All right. We have everyone present at this meeting. Thank you, you guys. So our next item on the agenda is the July 4th update. The reason that I wanted to make sure that we had this meeting today actually is because there are a couple of council members who asked that the celebrations provide them a recommendation for the 4th of July parade and fireworks. So that's why I asked that, you know, I put it that it's required that you be here, because we do need to vote, make a vote and give some recommendations to them on how to move forward. So first, let me start off by saying, and then what I want to do is just go through each member, and I need just take a minute or two to tell me what you think, how you feel about moving forward. And at the end, I need you to tell me whether or not you vote yes or no to move forward with the parade and fireworks. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay. So let me start off by telling you, I have been talking with the health officer, Darcy, and a week ago, Darcy and I talked in preparation of this meeting about moving forward, because I had gone to them back in April about it, the summer solstice and the 4th of July, and the decision was made to cancel summer solstice. And she said, let's talk about the 4th of July parade a little bit later to see how things go. So I talked to her last week to get a confirmation from her. And her thoughts were that given that we still don't have, there's still a lot of unknowns, and we still don't have a way to do a lot of testing for the coronavirus, that it's more than likely that we will not move forward with the parade and the fireworks. But that she said that last week. Things have changed since yesterday. So I want you guys to really think about your honest opinion about how you feel moving forward, and because your vote is really going to make a difference here. I don't want to influence your vote at all, so I am going to go at the very end with my opinions on everything. So as you're talking, and I want you to be honest with me about this. So as you're talking about your feelings on this, just keep in mind everything that is important to you around this whole thing, virus, and at the end, just give me your vote, whether yes or no you want to move forward, and I will be keeping a record on that. Okay. So I'm just going to go in line here as I have signed you in. So Jennifer, you are actually first. So
Oh, sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, in my opinion, it's difficult to make a decision just because my concern is obviously if we are the only city that will be hosting the fireworks, we're going to have trouble with crowd management, seeing different cities and, people coming into our city to be part of our festivities. But at the same time, I also think it's an important show of community. I think it is important that, we do come together. It's been a really hard time for a lot of people. And I think that it's a great, like I said, a great symbol of coming together as a community and supporting that we want to move forward. So my vote would be yes to host it. And hopefully that's hopefully that's a good thing. But like I said, I think it's just important to show that we do want to be there for our community. And we do want to move forward and hopefully see better and brighter days ahead. And hopefully we can somehow find some way to control the crowd and make sure that we can also still keep safety in mind.
Okay. I apologize. Just one more question as you guys are going through. I need to understand your commitment to helping out with the parade and fireworks if we move forward with it. Because of course it takes a team, right, to put this together. So if we have one or two people who aren't committed to being there and helping out, then that could pose another problem, okay? Because then we would have to look for volunteers and things. So I just want you to keep that in mind. So as we're moving forward, your vote yes or no to move forward, and then I need to understand your level of commitment. So Jennifer, if you can just tell me if you're able to commit 100%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am definitely able to commit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Cindy, you're next. Can you let me know
Yep,
what you
I'm
think here?
also, yeah, I'm also like the same as Jennifer, but the biggest thing is the crowd management. With everyone else shutting stuff down, we're going to have a lot more overzealous of people coming into our community, which I get. The distancing is my biggest concern with all this, and trying to keep people, if like we said, we don't know what happened after what happened today and everything else. Is it going to change? Is it not? Are they going to start shutting everything down like they did Zoo a la carte today, which is in August? That's my hardest thing, is with all the crowds and stuff. And that's always my hardest one with July to commit to, as I did last year. So I mean, I say I'm not fond of it just because of everything that I'm going through and to go out into crowds. So I'm going to say not real fond of it, but
Okay, so I
it's
need
just
a
something to
yes,
watch and see.
yes or a no to move forward.
I'm going to say no.
So then if they were to if the votes came through that we were going to move forward with this, then you being able to help is yes or no.
As of right now, we have plans for being out of town. I could always like stay home and be there in the morning to help with the parade, but that'd be, I can make it, I'll just drive separate for our destination. So yeah, I can come in the morning for a bit, then I'll take off.
Okay. Okay, Kyle Kohlhaas, can you give me your thoughts, please?
Yeah, well, I'll start with the first answer. Commitment, yes, I'm committed to volunteering. Regarding, I don't know if we talked about it as a split necessarily with the parade and the fireworks. I think that with certain measures that we can take, whether it's, I think we have to look at some of the options as far as like alternatives as how we're doing maybe the fireworks. But my vote is yes. I think it's an opportunity for our community. As long as we have the right crowd management, we have the right resources to control people, because I do expect a huge influx of people if we are one of the communities that continue to have it. And so I think that that's where we really have to focus on is, do we have the right resources to manage the crowds and manage the people if we continue forward?
Okay. So your vote is a yes to move forward?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Courtney?
So my concern is just that we're about 6 weeks away from the 4th of July, and just with the whole status of the quarantine and, people right now are wearing masks everywhere and gloves. With the parade, to have organizations that aren't necessarily related to each other coming together to do floats and things like that, where, they could be 6 feet apart, I guess, on the floats and things like that. But the reality is if you're having people come together in a parade with floats, they're not going to be necessarily 6 feet apart all the time. And so, and then just with the general crowd on the street, 6 feet apart with everybody down the street could be kind of impractical, I think. So, seeing that this is like a once in a whatever decade type of thing, who knows? I would vote no on the parade just with the status, but I'd say yes on the fireworks. With the fireworks, I don't know if there's an alternative way of doing it, like maybe going in your cars and watching it, but that could be hard with the amount of space for parking and things like that. But I definitely think we should have the fireworks regardless. We would, like everyone's saying, we'd have to manage the crowds and make sure that people are safe distance apart. But I just hate to have the parade and then have some, second wind of a pandemic or something in Oak Creek, because, everyone was helping with the parade and too close and things like that. Because I think people would come out regardless because they'd want to be a part of it, so. But from a health and safety standpoint, I'd have to say no.
Okay, so you're voting no for the parade, you're voting yes for the fireworks, and 100% commitment to helping? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Lisa, can you give me your opinion, please? Your
I
vote?
can. Can I just can I ask just a couple questions though before we go on? Is
Sure.
the proposal that the parade would be the exact same route that we normally do?
Yes, everything's gonna stay. Mhm.
Is there any opportunity for us to lengthen the parade to spread people out more?
I haven't thought about that. It's something to think about, but we're limited with our space anyway, right? By the Legion, there are tons of people in that area. Even if we spread the citizens out more to to pubes, we would go all the way to the end, and I don't think we would be able to be 6 feet apart from there either. So is that what you're looking, is to try to put people 6 feet apart?
Well, my thought if we are going to be one of these cities that still has the 2 events, you know, if you made the parade longer and spread it out more, it would just seem more safe, and maybe not end it at the Legion, because of all the congestion that's there, you know, to have an alternate route available. It's just a thought, and I wanted to throw it out there. I would be willing to have the parade. I'm willing to help with both events. I think the fireworks are what we should cancel. I think if we are one of the only ones and no one else is having it, I think that's more of a problem than the parade. I'm sorry. So, but I am willing to have both, and I'm willing to commit to being there.
All right. Thank you. Patty, can you give me your opinions, please? And your vote?
Yes, I say no, cancel it. I know it's not a fun thing. I know we want to take care of the populace. I know we want to look positive. I just don't think there's a safe way to do that. We've all known that other people from other neighborhoods come to our celebrations, and if there's nothing going on elsewhere in the county, then that's going to be a focal point. And we can't guarantee our own neighbors' safety, much less people that are coming from other areas. And you've seen what happened in Racine. There's been an uptick there. The people are not paying attention. I just worry that we would set ourselves up for another round of this stuff. And once it's in Oak Creek, then who knows where else it goes. I get it. I would really like to, with what we know today, I would love to be able to say, oh, it'll be fine. We can start planning right this minute. And with some adjustments, we can go on with it. I think the task is bigger than that. And I'm glad that folks are feeling equal to the task. I'm not. I would not be able to participate either way. My job with old people, I have to wear that mask every day and try to keep myself safe. I just think it's important for our people. I think it's important. We consider ourselves leaders on the South Shore, that we have to really lead and say that this is not good for you guys. On the other hand, we have a lot of money set aside for this. We're going to have to find a way to spend it. We could do another celebration later. I don't know how, I don't know what. I know that's the next problem ahead, keeping up with the people that have supported us. But I'd have to vote against both events, and I would not be available for either one. I would be happy to sit here and make phone calls for anybody that needs them and do that kind of work, but I can't be out in the crowd.
Okay. Thanks, Patty. Wendy, you're next. Wendy, are you on mute? Wendy, can you guys hear her?
I just unmuted her. So Wendy, if you speak now,
Oh.
we should be able to hear you.
Is she there?
It does not appear. Her mic's active, but she's not speaking.
I'm
Okay.
trying to speak. Hello?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
You can hear me now.
yes. I can see you
Okay,
too
now
now.
I can't hear you guys. So anyway, whatever. I'm gonna start off saying that I don't support the parade or the fireworks. I don't think that we have enough manpower to do a crowd control. I don't think that we are experts in the health field to say that yay or nay on any of this. I think it's the safety of our citizens that we should be looking out for. And I just say no to the whole thing. Would I help? Yes.
Okay. So if they decided, can you hear me, Wendy? No. Wendy,
I
can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you. I can hear you now.
Okay. So if they decided to move forward with the parade and the fireworks, you would be willing to help then?
No.
Okay. Thanks, Wendy. James? Can you give me your input and your vote, please?
Yeah, I think I agree with the last two. I think best case scenario, if everybody followed the plan perfectly, maybe you could get off one or the other. I think a normal 4th of July fireworks is a bunch of drunk people out there, and it's kind of like herding cats. You're not going to control them. For that reason, I just think that we have a little bit of a stake in the responsibility for the safety of the citizens. And I don't think if there's any threat that people could be getting sick, I don't think we should do it. That being said, I definitely won't be there. My wife and I have talked about it, and at the time we'll have a 1-month-old in the house, and I wouldn't risk it, so I will not be participating in either.
Okay. All right, thank you. Can I take a couple minutes here to hear from police and fire on your thoughts, because hearing what the rest of the committee members are saying, do you have any concerns about us moving forward with having the parade and the fireworks? And whoever wants to talk can go ahead. Steve, Mike, Andrew.
This is Steve. I can start. And I know Lieutenant Sagan and Captain Bolender and Andy Ahearn all planned it last year. One caution before, and I know the question of changing the route and doing things. So if this goes forward, understand that's just more resources that are needed. And we are already thin on this day trying to put people out on different traffic posts and different things. So spreading it out further, I'm not saying it can't be done, but every extra person we have there, they may have to come in early, and it's taking the officers, extra people away from their families on the holiday as well. So we try to limit that to a minimum. I'm sure that would impact possibly DPW's crews as well, but I'll let Ted address that. I know that most other communities that I've spoken to have canceled theirs. So I'm going to let the captain and lieutenant speak to the traffic issues that came up down there. I don't know if this is a great second year run down at Bender Park or at Lake Vista, for that site, but I would let them speak to how we would handle that influx of people. I think I'm not going to weigh in a vote yes or no. I think that's the committee's, but I think it's going to create some logistical issues that we wouldn't experience on a normal year, even for your group of trying to get the events for the parade. On the band, is the high school going to have a band and things like that come up because they're not in session. So just some of those things, but I'll defer to the captain or lieutenant at this point.
Andy, I'll just start. This is Mike Bolender. Last year, things went fairly well, but depending on if that many communities are canceling, you're expecting a huge influx of people. It is going to bring some really unique challenges there. Traffic flowed okay, but we were, just with the people that we had there last year, we were right about where we should have been. And if we're going to have that influx of more people, we're definitely going to have to increase our staffing on that day to a level that I'm not sure if we can provide. I'll just end it with there, Lieutenant Sagan, if you want to add something.
Yeah, I'd echo their statements and concerns as well. Last year, we did have a large amount of staffing available at the time, and we were able to manage it for what it was, and we knew we had some improvements we needed to make this year. But I have those same concerns. If we're the only area one going, we're going to have a larger amount of people coming down there, and I do have some serious concerns about our ability to manage it.
Okay. Andrew, do you have anything?
I guess I would defer to the chief and the lieutenants. With it, I was just the one planning it. The decision making would have to come from the higher ups, but I echo the staffing concerns as well.
Okay. Thanks. Mike, Ted, do you guys have anything to add to this?
Hey, Carolyn, thanks. And I just want to say thanks to your commission. Listening to the comments, really well thought out responses, and you guys got a tough decision ahead of you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the thought that you put into it. Somebody had mentioned early on, there are experts out there. I'm not a public health officer, but your city has a great public health officer, and there's resources through the CDC that talk about guidance for large crowds, and that's what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with large crowds, right? The parade and the fireworks, even just for the city of Oak Creek on a routine year, those are big crowds. It's a big city event, but it's different now. You know, it's a different time this year, and I think those resources that are out there can provide you some really good guidance on how to either attempt to manage it, or you know, the potential is there to defer the events also, or maybe they look a little bit different, or maybe they get delayed. So, you know, I encourage you to use those resources, especially if you have any questions or thoughts regarding it. Again, it's a tough decision, and what we're doing is managing people. You know, a lot of changes recently, last 24 hours, orders have changed. But the fact is there's still a pandemic going on. It's just the overall government's response to it. So, you know, that always sits in the background, and by your comments, it certainly is reflective that you're considering that. So I guess, you know, I don't vote on this. I would offer that there are resources out there that can help guide your decision, especially when you're dealing with large crowds, and that's what you're dealing with here. And the management of those types of crowds with the recommended guidelines that can be very challenging even at the best of times. So I'll leave it at that, and you know, if any questions come up, be happy to answer them. Thanks.
All right, thank you. So Ted, do you have anything you want to add?
I don't think I would have anything of more value even that that hasn't already been said. I think we might be biting off a little more than we could chew with the amount of crowds that we would get. I mean, however, I mean, whatever the commission decides, I mean, we can set up for it. So, I mean, if you did move forward, we would be obviously committed to helping to make it a successful event. I just think that the crowds would be overwhelming.
Okay, thank you. Okay, was there anyone else that needed to say anything else?
Carolyn,
Okay.
Cindy, I just wanted,
Go ahead.
sorry. I was just thinking, because like they brought the band, the school's not in session, all the dance teams, pump teams, those aren't in session. So I don't know if you can get any of those people in. I mean, you have to almost like look and see, you know, there's a lot of stuff that has all been shut down. So
right, a lot of it would probably include just a lot of businesses advertising. So that would probably make up the most of the parade. Okay. Any other questions from the committee members? Any other comments? Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys my opinion. I'm voting no on either one of these events. And because my beliefs is that even though things have changed as of yesterday, and I know things are open and I know people want to get out, but there is still a pandemic going on and there's still a lot of unknowns. I have compromising health issues that if I got out and started working this event, and this is a lot of work. Talking to people, I can guarantee you that 6 foot staying away would just go out the window. Running around talking to folks and getting people situated in the parade. I don't think we would be able to spread out enough to accommodate that. I'm gonna tell you right now, Milwaukee canceled their parade. I think it's Milwaukee, Kenosha canceled theirs, Glendale canceled theirs. And some of the other surrounding communities are still thinking about if they're going to cancel theirs or not. Those citizens, because everybody wants to get out, will be heading to Oak Creek to participate in our event. The crowds would be crazy. And last year, for both the parade and the fireworks, I need more participation. I didn't get 100% out of both of those events, and it's a lot. And I'm not saying that you guys didn't help out, but it's so much work. I took on a lot more than probably what I should have, but it was my first year running it and trying to understand what needed to happen as well. The fireworks, yes, it's a bigger area, but there's also a lot of drinking that's going to be happening. There's more people. I just see it turning into just a complete chaos. And I would ask for 3 times the amount of police, and I would expect more paramedics to be down there just in case something happened. I am not going to be the person who's going to get in between someone who got too close to them, didn't have their mask on. It got into a political debate. I'm not going to deal with any of that. So my vote is no on the event this year. It's a parade. It's not like it's the Rose Bowl. It's the Oak Creek Parade. It can be canceled this year and brought back next year for something else. Maybe towards the end of the year, things do a turnaround. We can always come back and talk about doing something later in the year. I am so open for that. So I'm going to vote no on both of these events, okay? So does anyone have any comments about what I've said? Okay, so I'm gonna go through. Wendy, did you take a tally on the votes at all? Okay. Wendy's having technical difficulties. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do because I need to provide a recommendation by tomorrow morning so that this is on the agenda for next week, Tuesday, to the council. And they will, the council wants to make the final decision whether we move forward or not. I can tell you again, I'm not going to be participating. If they decide to move forward, they do have some members who are willing to step in and help. I have all the information here. I'll be happy to pass it on to you guys, and then you can work with the council to make this event happen, okay? So just give me one quick second here. And I want to tally up this real quick.
Carolyn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hold on. I'm just going through the list here. Okay. Okay, so there are nine commissioners, okay, on the committee. We are down one. And what I have so far, I have 3 yeses. I have Jennifer as a yes. I have Kyle as a yes. And I have Lisa as a yes. Was there anyone else that was a yes to move forward with the parade and fireworks? Okay. Then I have Cindy as a no. I have Courtney as a no. I have Patty as a no. Wendy as a no. James as a no. And myself as a no. Okay, so with that, the no's actually have it that we will not move forward with the parade and fireworks. So my recommendation to the council will be that the Celebrations Commission met on this day and we voted, and the vote was no to not move forward with the parade and the fireworks for this year, 2020. So does everyone agree with what I just said? Can I get a roll call? Wendy, can you do a roll call just to make sure everyone understands what I said?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Jennifer,
Yes, I understand.
Cindy,
Yes, I understand.
Kyle,
Yes, I understand.
Courtney,
Yep, I understand.
Lisa,
Yes, I understand.
Patty,
I understand.
James, now he's muted.
I'm muted, James.
You understand, James?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I understand myself.
And I understand what I said too. So.
I hope so.
All right. So with that, I think that's enough for today. Well, that's all I had on the agenda. I will be getting this out. I will send each of you and this out to each one of you tonight. What I'm going to be sending to the council, and just so that you have a copy of that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay.
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 Okay, can we move to, oh, I want to thank all of our guests. So thank you guys for taking the time out to participate in this call. Again, sorry for all the confusion and everything, but I'm so glad that you were able to join us. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to me. Other than that, I think we're done. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
I'll second, Cindy.
Okay. All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.